Yash. So this is a good one. How do we surrender ourselves? Now, most of us know, when we're talking about self, by the way, I'm talking about human self, ego self, self-will, the self that gets us in trouble. So those who have embarked on the spiritual path, you know that self. And that's why we're here. This is why we're interested in spirituality and videos like this to begin with, because we want to get rid of this. We want to surrender this problematic self. But how do you do that? So we find out that it's not so easy, because surrender is a subconscious act. It's a subconscious thing. It's not like a conscious thing where I say, I'm going to pick up this rock. See, I can like choose to do that. Surrender is not like that. Now I'll give an example. What's an example of a subconscious surrender? Let's say I'm out on the street. I'm with a girl. Let's make it more dramatic. I'm with my children. Ooh. So then I don't have any, but if I did, let's say then somebody is like talking nonsense, talking about my kids. Oh, you got funny looking kids. Kids are retarded. Whatever. And let's say I'm already kind of in a fiery mood. Let's say my wife, she's like not acting right. So I'm already kind of, I'm not so peaceful like all the non-dual people. They'll just say nothing exists, wife don't. So I'm out on the street, and somebody starts engaging me like that, because they're having a bad day too. And so their pain body activates mine. It's Eckhart Tolle language. And then, so I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Like, what, you want something? My military character activates. And then he's like, yeah. And then he walks up, and I'm ready, right? And he takes a gun out. He says, what are you going to do? And he points it at me, and he cocks it. And I'm not packing. That's going to be a surrender. All of a sudden, this fiery energy, that's going to go down. And I'm going to be like, whoa. Because I'm going to think about my kids, me, like, hey man, my bad. I made a mistake. Yeah, you're right. Kids are retarded. My bad. So see, that's an automatic surrender. Now that's fear-based. This surrender that I'm talking, this spiritual surrender is not like that. But it's like the example I gave, in the sense that it's just very organic and natural. You can't self-will it. You can't force it. But at the same time, a spiritual practice can help facilitate that. Which is why spiritual practice is good. It's like the practice is dissolving all these obstructions that somehow keep this surrender from taking place. Now you can say, well, but there's no surrender. The self is already pure. It doesn't have to surrender. Yeah. But this ego matrix, human self, that has to surrender. Otherwise, the reality and realization of our non-dual self or pure self isn't going to be realized. You see, the non-dual self is realized through the human self. If there's just non-dual self, there's no realization. How is there realization? There needs to be an opposite. There needs to be some play of opposite. Hence, God made it like that. If people don't touch on that, they haven't realized this. It's just because it's common. It's beyond logical. It just is what it is. So the human self, the spiritual practice helps dissolve the human self, and then the surrender, it just happens. And then all of a sudden, then there's awareness of this, you can say this pure consciousness that's not incarnated in the form. It's like the space in which the form is taking place in. What else? Oh, I made a couple notes because I wanted to. This is an important subject. I don't want to miss stuff. So how can we accelerate this this evolution of surrender? How do we do that? Well, I wrote some good things down. So, being free of desires, having a high vibrational life, having a spiritual practice, and also suffering. See, suffering helps. Suffering is like the karma, it's being burnt up. See, karma can be burnt up via suffering. It can also be burnt up in meditation. Those who have meditated, and if you do so for longer periods of time, you can start to feel some burning inside. You see, because it's burning up the karma so that the karma didn't actually have to take form and on a physical level. That takes longer, you see, to wait for this slow wheels of manifestation to make stuff so that we can experience our karma. That hence the meditation practice. And when you're meditating, anything that's not pure inside this human emotional mental body, it starts to come up and it starts to burn up, and you feel it. You feel the burning, the dissolution of the karma, and so then it can feel painful, So that's one way to speed up the evolution. This is why I'm proponent. How can you not be a proponent of a spiritual practice? I told you how, because they don't know. I can't help it. I have compassion because I'm godly. No, it's just if you see something clear, you automatically understand because you were in that stage and state before, so you understand it. And so then compassion arises for your own previous self in that form. I'm going to make a video on compassion, I think. Also, high vibe lifestyle. When the frequency and vibration of these bodies, physical body, mental body, emotional body, when that's raised, it's like our perception's more pure. We see things clear. Things that don't really serve us, we're not interested in them. We're in a higher part of our being, so we're experiencing serenity. So we don't want to go down and play with these little addictions and desires and stuff that we used to enjoy when we were on a lower frequency. That's why it's like I have to talk sometimes about the diet and just lifestyle habits or being in nature, the company that you're keeping, you drinking each other's self-realization juice, the environment that you're in. You're in some hostile environment. Should you move to a more conducive environment? Your work life, is that serving you on the highest level, or are you just there for the money? You got to do that introspection and see, and so that will accelerate the whole evolution. So the lifestyle, and if you're a guy, semen retention, it's a big one. And if you're a woman too, preserve your sexual. The sexual instinct's a huge addiction. So you gotta look and see. Are you in that world somehow a dopamine addict? Because the sex world can give a really strong, good hit of dopamine, which then allows you to escape from whatever feelings or karma maybe that's coming up, which then just means it goes down for the next time. You just got to wait. You're not dissolving karma, you're putting it off. So you got to check your life. Are there habits that you're doing that's doing that? And if you are, it's okay too, you see, but be aware. And then when it's time, as we get more inner power, then we can leave these habits. But see, the mind will put on the God hat and say, no, we need to get rid of everything now. Kill the food addiction, sex addiction, nicotine addiction, all the addictions. Kill them all at the same time. Most can't do that. that you'll experience more stress, and then it will make you indulge in them more. So you got to have some wisdom with this. You got to catch out the mind, especially when it's wearing the spiritual hat, So all these things help accelerate one's self-realization. That's why I have to talk about those points. I'm not just going to come here and just say, just talk. This. I'm looking at this leaf here, but really I'm not looking. There's a sensation of something that's looking, and actually, the leaf and me are the same. But how's that going to help anybody? Maybe a video or two here we can, But if we already, you can say, have realized that, what's the point? What are we going to just parrot that to each other over and over again? Make me go to sleep. So I'm talking to those who really, who you sense, like who you are in essence, but there seems to be some obstructions, some karma that's blocking you from coming into the a fuller realization of who you are. There's no 100% full realization, because the show would be over, and we wouldn't even know that we have the realization. But you get to where it's full enough. Those are my words. What's the other thing? There's one more thing. Yeah, I like this. See, the mind wears the God hat. It can imitate this whole awakening process. It can say all the right things. It can, especially if one has a more developed intellect, just because of karma. Previous lives, they just develop their mind. It's always studying and whatever, so they can articulate and recite things really easy, and they can give the false impression like, whoa, I know something, But you can always find them out via vibration or the quality of energy. Somehow that's not matching. It's not backing what they're saying, and so they look weird. It looks like it'd be like if I went and bought. It'd be like if a homeless person was gifted a brand new $10,000 Versace suit, right? And then he's wearing that, but it's like he's slept in it for a month, and it's dusty and dirty, and there's stains all over it, and he went to the bathroom in it and all that. So then he walks around in that suit. Do you like that analogy? It don't match. It's like, yeah, that's a nice suit. It's like the people, okay, you're saying all the right things, but I don't know, there's something that's not right there. Something doesn't match. I think Muji said once, it's like having a beautiful cake, but it smells like sardines. That type of thing. So watch that. Catch that out. Let me know if you like this video. See you.